our records. There is even a statute concerning our digital records.
And those cost 25 cents?
Yes, up to, I believe, I would have to get the number.
Are you governed by state statute or county statute?
State statute.
Yeah, so I've been all over Oklahoma and no one's ever told me that. Sure, thank you.
She's going to get it. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. How are you doing on this fine Monday? I'm doing quite well. And wouldn't you know, Sean Reyes has given us a beautiful, special, precious treat by uploading yet another audit video. So I don't know about y'all, but I'm getting a little bit sick and tired of these Danbury fools, which yes, I am in the middle of an active investigation and Danbury videos will be forthcoming in the very near future. But today I did think we could use a little bit of a palate cleanse and go back to just a regular old school reaction video. So in the last day or two, Sean uploaded another audit, and this one is actually of Pittsburg County. What was it? Hold on, let me check. Oh, it was the courthouse. Okay, it was the courthouse. So again, we have another courthouse video. And as I said in the last courthouse, one with Pocorni and McCabria, the tyrants really act extra crazy whenever it comes to courthouse videos. Now, the title of this video is Sheriff Orders His Deputies to Arrest Journalist for Obstruction of Justice. And in the thumbnail, it does say, "You're going to have to arrest me then." It looks like this audit maybe didn't go according to how it should have gone. So without further ado, let's see how the audit went at the Pittsburg County Courthouse in McAlester, Oklahoma.
Sir, you can't film in here.
What do you mean? I follow the law, sir, and you are law enforcement and you're not policy enforcement.
You have an identification on you?
A driver's license?
Yes.
No.
Our higher powers asked us to have you stop recording.
Our higher powers, he said.
Do not stop recording. We're going to have to charge you with obstruction. And then
As much as I don't want to take the
Okay, this is just a little preview or whatever, but I will say I do have a soft spot for the Southern accent. And Oklahoma, they try to act like they're the South. They're really not, but they do have the accent.
ride with you guys, this sounds like something I'm probably going to have to take the ride with. Hey, what's up guys? Long Island Audit here, back again with another video. Today we're at the Pittsburg County Courthouse here in Oklahoma. We are here today as always to peacefully exercise our First Amendment right to film in public and publicly accessible areas, to promote transparency and accountability within our government, and to ensure that our public servants recognize our rights and treat us with respect.
I've heard that so many times. I thought I was going to say that on the audit that I did. I completely forgot the script as soon as I started it. I was like, we are here today to...
Let's get into it. So before we even walk inside the building, we are greeted with this unconstitutional sign here. Attention, any person wishing to make any video recordings must obtain permission before doing so. Any unauthorized videotaping is prohibited.
But what's that tiny fine print? Are they citing a statute?
And just to be clear, there aren't any statutes associated
So what's that fine print?
with this. So let's hope they don't try and enforce this unconstitutional policy, because we all know policy does not.
Okay, so it's really little writing. It says, to obtain permission, please contact this number, and it gives the number. Okay, he's right. There's no statute cited here. So quite literally, somebody just put a piece of paper on the door that had a policy on it that perhaps isn't even a policy, right? It's just an announcement that nobody can record in this courthouse. Anybody wishing to make a video recording or any photographs must obtain permission before doing so. Permission from who? I don't know. Who knows? Any unauthorized videotaping is prohibited. It doesn't tell you what's going to happen to you if you do videotape. So that's something that I find interesting. And again, they're not citing any statute. They're not saying pursuant to ordinance, blah, 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 or pursuant to statute, this and that. No, it just has a sign on the door. And the issue with signs like this is that they can be, and sometimes are, unconstitutional, and they violate our rights. So for example, if this sign on the door said, posted, nobody of Irish descent can come in this courthouse. Posted, no Black people can come in this courthouse. Posted, no Christians can come in this courthouse. They can put anything on the door. If it hasn't been vetted through the legislative process, then we have an issue because it could run into being unconstitutional. Now, it could absolutely also be unconstitutional if it did go through the proper lawmaking authorities, et cetera, et cetera. But here, I mean, any old fool can just tape any old thing on the front of the courthouse, and it could be a big problem because it didn't go through the proper processes.
Trump our constitutional rights. All right, guys, so we're just getting inside the courthouse here. We have some public notices over here to our right. We are immediately greeted with our friendly reminder that they are always recording and watching us.
Big brother.
Even though it always seems to be an issue when we record them. Let's hope that's not the case here today. Here we missed this when we walked in. We'd like to go over the directory. First floor, we have commissioners, assessor, treasurer, county clerk. As I said, we'll visit the county clerk at the end of this. And we also have the court clerk, drug court, etc.
Here we go.
What do you mean? Who are you?
I'm courthouse security.
Courthouse security, your name and badge number and department?
Morgan, badge number 18, Pittsburg County Sheriff's Office.
Okay, Deputy Morgan? Yeah, why wouldn't I be able to record? Is there a statute, a law against recording?
There is a sign.
Good question. Is there a statute, right? It's the same thing that I was thinking. Under what authority, right? Because police officers are really only supposed to be able to give you lawful orders. They're not supposed to be able to demand that you do something that isn't lawful. And so them just walking up and demanding that you do something, if it's not backed up by a statute, an ordinance, or even like an order, then really, I mean, they're just kind of like barking orders at you because they're wearing a uniform. Do you see what I'm saying? Which, I mean, they end up doing a lot anyway, but
yeah, signs really don't concern me. Anybody can make a sign. I could make a sign and put it on my chest and walk around.
Exactly.
Around saying I can record anywhere I want. You know, that wouldn't trump the law, would it? Right? You
Just
could
an ask from the commission that you get permission before you film on the courthouse.
We ask that you get permission before you film the courthouse. You can ask, but you can't do it under threat of arrest or something like that.
Grounds.
Yeah, so while I respect them trying to say that I need to ask, but I really don't respect it. But I don't listen to...
Sean is too nice. I mean, I don't think too nice. Actually, I think you have to have a patient temperament to do audits appropriately. And he has the exact appropriate temperament because y'all already know how I would be.
Policy. I follow the law, sir. And you are law enforcement and you're not policy enforcement, or you don't work at the behest of the commissioners. Commissioners can't just make law by stating something, right? Right. Just saying that, right. Can't wear a hat inside of inside of the building, or
right.
certain people of certain colors, or
right.
It's
great minds, Sean.
It's a slippery slope, right? So let's be careful about enforcing policies when you're law enforcement. Just take some pictures and video here. That's all.
Okay, what for?
I'm an independent journalist. I'm just working on a story here for the county.
All right, you have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
Good. Great. Good job. I mean, I guess maybe he shouldn't have ever even approached him in the first place. But once Sean said, I'm working on a story, getting pictures and video, the guy was like, okay, bye.
Judge Stephen Taylor over here.
Stephen Taylor.
So that's how you handle it, ladies and gentlemen. It goes from you cannot record inside of this building to him walking away saying, have a nice day. This is the district attorney's office here. Justice is blind, or at least it's supposed to be, right?
Supposed to be.
With the balancing scales.
But it ain't. Not in this country.
The mission of the Oklahoma District Attorney is to protect the public through proactively advocating as ministers of justice for public safety and welfare, through educating and collaborating with communities, law enforcement, policymakers, while supporting their support staff through personnel, professional development, peer support.
Okay, so I just realized I spelled Pittsburgh wrong in my little scrolly down at the bottom. It has been amended. My bad. But whatever. Y'all got the point. Y'all understood what it meant.
Pretty nice office here.
It is nice.
Let's get some different brochures here. I'm okay, thank you. I'm fine.
Okay. Are you recording something?
Yeah, I'm recording.
Are you recording something?
You can't do that.
You can't do that.
What'd you say?
You're not allowed to record without getting permission.
Why would that be?
I don't know. There's signs on the front doors.
Oh, no, I don't need any permission to record, ma'am. There's signs on the front doors. Like, that makes it okay.
It's funny how everyone's reaction here is like, okay, and then they scurry away.
Just put a sign on the front door. I'm going to walk around with a sign on my chest that says I'm allowed to record anywhere I want. We all know I couldn't do that, right? Couldn't go into restricted areas. Couldn't just walk behind the police department into their, offices in the restricted areas. Oh, but the sign says I could. Doesn't make any sense. Anyway, we have some brochures here.
How's it going, sir? Hey, did you see the sign up front?
New one. We got a new good old boy coming on the scene.
Who are you, sir?
I'm Deputy Fur,
Deputy Fur?
Pittsburg County Sheriff's Office.
Fur.
With what sheriff's office? Excuse me.
Pittsburg County.
Pittsburg County Sheriff's Office.
Yeah, there's a sign up there. Did you call the number?
No, I didn't call the number.
Did you call the number to get permission to exercise this First Amendment protected activity?
I saw the sign. Yeah, I did see the sign when I walked in. There's no statute associated with that sign or any sort of...
It's like a courthouse law, or not law.
It's like a courthouse law, but not law. Got it.
A rule or something.
a courthouse.
Or a rule or something. Law, not law, rule or something. But you came recording, you got called. Did you call the number? The funny thing is it's a rhetorical question because the guy knows Sean didn't call the number. He's now interacted with 2 people at this courthouse and said, I'm not calling that damn number. So Deputy Fur, whatever Fur, he knows Sean did not call this number. But he said, did you call that number? Just to make sure, which honestly I respect. Cross your T's, dot your I's, Deputy Fur.
House rule?
Yeah.
Do you have a rule? Do you have an order?
Huh? Say again?
Is it a rule
Do you have an order?
or just a...
It's a rule for the courthouse. The judges put it in place. So, it's not illegal, but they prefer you to call. Are you
Okay.
with the press?
Yeah, I'm an independent journalist.
Independent? You have a press ID?
No, I don't identify myself to law enforcement unless I've broken the law. It's just what I do. It's my policy. My
Okay,
company's
do you
policy.
have an identification ID?
A driver's license?
Yes.
No, I
Which, as we've discussed many times before, you don't have to give your driver's license to or identify yourself to a police officer unless there is some type of reasonable, articulable suspicion that you've committed a crime. Now, if they say, look, I'm investigating you for committing a crime, then the Fourth Amendment is sort of satisfied. Then you get other amendments do kick in. Like, for example, your Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination. You can remain silent at that point, et cetera, et cetera. This is not legal advice. Because a lot of times what they're trying to do when they get your ID is go and run your ID through their system. And if you have warrants or anything like that, then you're going to get arrested. So it's just a very easy way for the police officers to figure out what's going on with you. In addition, if you're saying that you're an independent journalist, the first thing they could do is look at your ID, look at your first last name, type it in, and then it would give it away how many followers Sean has. And it could kind of damage the integrity of the audit itself because, as we know, these police officers do start acting different a lot of the times once they realize the reach and the influence that Sean does have, the power of his audience, etc. And so I think to just protect the integrity of the audit, Sean doesn't really like to give his name. But on top of that, you don't have to. And that's Sean's whole job, is to go out and exercise the rights, because if you don't use them, you lose them.
I do. I'm not going to surrender it to you at this time, only because I have a Fourth Amendment right not to, and it's my choice not to.
That is your right.
Yeah, I just don't want to
Do you have
identify.
a name or something?
Yo, my name is Sean.
Do you have a name or something?
Sean? You got a last name?
Just Sean. It's just Sean, yeah.
Just Sean? Okay. It's not that you're doing anything illegal.
So then why are you in my face? Fur.
Times these days, I'm sure you've seen the news. People get a little weird with people filming around here. due to, the terror.
Oh.
I'm sure you've seen the news. So because people are weird about filming, I got to sacrifice my rights. I've also seen the news of people putting surveillance cameras in weird places that people don't like them. But look at them 2 cameras in the corner up in the top left behind Fur's head. Y'all going to take them down? No, it's a rhetorical question. I know you're not.
And that's why I told you my name's Sean. I'm an independent journalist, and there's a bunch of cameras that are taking my picture all over this building, so you guys know what I look like.
That's for security reasons.
Yeah, exactly. And I haven't said anything. I'm not saying that you can't take my picture, but if you guys are taking my picture, you guys have everything that I've been doing in this building. There's cameras all over the building, so I'm not doing anything nefarious other than taking pictures and video. And I explained to you exactly why I'm taking the pictures and video. I'm an independent journalist. My name's Sean, and I'm working on a story on the Pittsburg County here.
Okay. May I ask what the story's for?
I can't divulge the story only because it might compromise my story.
I'll give it to this guy. I'll give it to Fur. He is really trying to conduct this investigation.
An investigative report against investigative journalism.
Investigative journalism?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
It's like against the courthouse itself?
Just the county in general.
Just the county?
The county in general.
Oh, okay.
That's correct.
All right. Do you feel like you doing it yourself? Or?
Yeah, independent. I own my own company. That's correct.
Oh, that's awesome. You do well?
Yeah. Very blessed, very fortunate.
What are these questions?
What outlets do you post it? Like YouTube or something like that?
Yeah.
I honestly think he's trying to figure out, is this a First Amendment auditor?
All types. All kinds of outlets. Have my own website. There's
Mind if I check it out and get the name?
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you what. At the end, before I leave, I definitely will give you that information. Okay.
He's doing his best.
Okay. Just so you could check it out.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm curious.
Because you've been, you haven't tried to, overstep your authority in any way. You can ask for ID all you want, but I can politely decline. Only, like I said, I'm not trying to be difficult. I don't think that is difficult. I think it's just, a citizen exercising his rights is never a bad thing, especially for someone like you who took an oath to uphold those rights.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So before I leave, I'll get you that information. I promise you. All right. Thanks, Deputy Fur.
Thanks, Sean.
Appreciate you.
Be safe.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So, like I was saying, there are cameras everywhere in this building. There's a training room. So Deputy Fur, he tried his best to try and get some sort of identification, press credentials, even though, look at that beautiful view. Wow, beautiful. Anyway, distracted for a second. So he tried his best to get press credentials, even though what state or federal agency issues press credentials? Never heard of it. Tried to get driver's license, but we have nothing to hide, but my job is to exercise my constitutional rights peacefully, and that includes Fourth Amendment from unreasonable searches and seizures of my papers. So, I think Sean's good enough. Just Sean. Anyways, guys, we're going to take a little walk around the building. We're actually got to go to the clerk's office. Like I said, we have to go to the clerk's office before we get out of here. And then we will leave.
Hey, Sean?
Yes, sir.
Can you come here and talk to me for a minute?
Yeah, no problem.
Oh, boy.
Our higher powers asked us to have you stop
I think he said our higher powers.
recording. If you do not stop recording, we're going to have to charge you with obstruction and then
Obstruction of what?
Obstruction of what? Obstruction of a sign they printed out and put on the door? What if it said you got to do the Macarena when you come in and you don't do the Macarena? You're going to be charged with obstruction. This is tyranny. This is overreaching. The government is supposed to only derive its powers from the consent of the governed. That's like, how did we end up in a place? You're going to get charged with obstruction. Obstruction of what? What is Sean obstructing by filming in this courthouse where he's being filmed?
obstruction of justice, since we're asking you to stop recording.
Can I speak to a supervisor?
Yeah, I can get that arranged, man.
Yeah, I would like to speak to the supervisor because I think you guys would be making a big mistake. I was ready to actually leave. I just have to do my open records request.
I understand.
And get out of here. So, you know, now being told that I will be charged with obstruction of justice for exercising a constitutional right. It just doesn't seem like I told you who I was. I'm a journalist.
Yeah, I know.
You know, I'm trying to de-escalate the situation, but I don't take too kindly to being threatened with arrest, my freedom taken from me, right? So if I could speak to a supervisor, that'd be perfect.
Yeah, be free to get in contact with one right now.
Because, like I told you, I already went through excuse me, ma'am. I already went through the entire building, and I'm here at the county clerk to do an open records request, as is my right for public information. So trespassing me from the building or obstruction of justice, that would be violating that right, deputy. And you might get it. And I listen. We had a great conversation upstairs. Hey.
If you're done recording and you were just about to leave anyways, that's fine. The sheriff said it'd be a while before he come talk to you. Said it'd be about an hour, but I could take down your number and he can give you a call when he's free.
You
John is so fun. Yeah. That was like nice person for no.
don't have any supervisors besides the sheriff?
I do, yes, but he's at the top. He said he would like to speak with you if anybody. Yeah.
They got to do the chain of command. So Fur on the left talking about higher powers. So they're very, very concerned with this chain of command. We got the one on the right, I forgot his name, talking about, well, but he's at the top. Okay, but what about the policy that says you're supposed to produce a supervisor? You're not supposed to have to make somebody have to wait for an hour for the whole sheriff of the whole county to show up.
Yeah, so I was going to record and grab my open records request, as is my right for public records and documents. There is no law. I'm just letting you know. You know, I don't know if you want to call your sheriff one more time. Obstruction of justice, that doesn't apply here. You know, and as much as I don't want to take the ride with you guys, this sounds like something I'm probably going to have to take the ride with, because at the end of the day, it's...
Honestly, this is why I respect Sean so much, because if these guys were threatening to arrest me, even if it wasn't my intention to like just fold, I probably would. I don't want to get arrested. I don't want to go to jail. And none of us do. That's why so many of us just fold. I'm so happy and grateful for people like Sean, because they go out there, they're respectful, they de-escalate, and they teach these cops how it's supposed to work, and they put their whole entire freedom on the line for it.
You're violating my rights. You're violating my rights. I'm not doing anything. I'm not causing a disturbance. I'm not breaking any laws. Obstruction of what justice? What am I doing? I've been polite with both of you. I haven't done anything wrong. Huh? I gotta have to do my open records request, and then I was going to be on my way.
Okay,
but I want to speak to
you until you finish?
you. Can that is your listen? I can't tell you where you
He said, can we hang out with you until you finish?
can and cannot go. The same way I want you to respect my rights, I respect that you can. If you want to waste resources on a man with a camera that's not a danger to anybody, that's your department's decision. But as far as arresting someone for peacefully exercising their rights, that would be a big mistake by your department. And I'm telling you, I don't want you to do. I don't want to have to go through this, go to civil court. It's not what I came here to do. I came here to spread education on our rights, and I came here to exercise my rights. And you took an oath, both of you did, to uphold my rights and to uphold the United States Constitution. That's why I'm a little confused here. So your sheriff should really understand what he's trying to get.
Let me look up the sheriff. Let's see, Sheriff, Pittsburg County, Oklahoma. Okay, Chris Morris. And then we have Frankie McClendon, who's the under sheriff. Got some pictures of him here. Oh my, I don't think I'm gonna be able to show this. My word, this is some serious good old boy. Ooh, y'all. These are just some of the pictures. Oh, it won't let me scroll in like, all right. Oh boy, that's the sheriff right there in the white shirt. I think they're actually at that courthouse right now. What does this say? Report illegal dumping. These little towns are funny. Anyway, all right. So this is the sheriff right here. Mike, what's his name? Chris Morris. Here's the other one, the under sheriff. I don't know what that means. I mean, obviously it's like the right hand, like the vice sheriff. Preserve the peace. This is what they're supposed to do. Preserve the peace and protect life and property within the county's jurisdiction. Has power and authority to operate the county jail. to apprehend and secure persons charged with a felony or the breach of the peace, serves warrants and processes papers ordered by the court, accountable for fees received by the sheriff's office, relies on the office of the state auditor and inspector for oversight. Girl, that's not how you spell oversight, but that's fine. Okay, what else? That's the whole little page for the sheriff. All right, so we got Chris Morris, sheriff, who wants Sean to stop recording, but he wants Sean to wait. He wants Sean to wait for an hour before he's going to be able to talk to him. Otherwise, Sean can give him a call. But if he doesn't leave the courthouse, he's going to get arrested. I don't really understand what their logic is here.
Because following orders is one thing, right? Because you could say all the Nazis in Germany following orders, right? It comes to a point where
actually they did say that at the Nuremberg trials. They literally used that as their defense, that they were just following orders.
Where, your following orders is not good enough. Guys got to do better than that, So I have a right to speak to a supervisor. I would like to speak to a supervisor. I don't need to speak to the sheriff of the entire county. I would like to speak to a supervisor. I'm sure it's your policy and procedure, sir, to get a supervisor here when a member of the public is requesting it. Because I want to clarify exactly obstruction of justice for what. I'm not familiar with the state statute, but I can guarantee you it does not apply here for
Let me go look up what the state statute in Oklahoma for obstruction of justice says. Obstructing officer. Let me put it up for y'all. So according to this Oklahoma statute, the universal citation here, any person who willfully delays or obstructs any public officer, that would be the police officers in this case, the security guards at the courthouse, in the discharge or attempt to discharge any duty of his office is guilty of a misdemeanor. So they're trying to apply this to Sean, and it would say, again, this is not legal advice. I never was licensed to practice law in Oklahoma. This is just me reading the statute from what I can tell from the reading. But the important provision of this very, very short statute is this: any duty of his office, right? So if Sean were willfully delaying or obstructing these two good old boys in the discharge or attempt to discharge duty of their office, then Sean would be guilty of obstruction of justice. But this is the important provision here: any duty of the police officer's office. So is it a duty of a police officer in Pittsburg County, Oklahoma, to violate a person's First Amendment rights? Is it a duty of the police officer to thwart investigations and to thwart journalism? No, it's not. In fact, it is the duty of these police officers, just like they swore to do, to uphold the Constitution, to protect these constitutional rights. So I think they would have gotten a little bit farther out of a statute that said something about disturbing the peace, but we have seen time and time again why that also does not pass constitutional muster, to say that somebody recording in public is a disturbance of the peace. Specifically because there's like almost nobody in this courthouse. We've seen one or two, like we the people in the whole courthouse at all. Everybody else has been government workers. And so this is the statute that they are trying to use against Sean in this particular interaction. And I just don't think that it could pass muster, because it's not a duty of the police to thwart our Constitution. It's actually the opposite. It's their duty to uphold the Constitution and what it stands for. Let's see what happens next.
And peacefully, I'm not disturbing any business. Taking someone's freedom away from them is a serious thing.
It is.
And you guys are entrusted with that authority, and it shouldn't be abused at all.
And it's
ridiculous.
Pretty abusive for them to say, we're going to take you to jail.
Ridiculous.
Like, not even writing him a ticket, like arresting him and taking him to jail and stealing away his freedom. It's very serious. I don't want to go to jail in Oklahoma. I promise you that.
And I'm just asking the supervisor to clarify, because I don't want to, if you guys arrest me right now it's on you two and whoever else supervisor. But I want to get that supervisor on camera saying, you will be arrested. All I need to have standing in court, to take this to court, is you will be arrested if you don't stop recording. And then I will leave the building.
We got Fur over here typing away. He is typing up a storm with that one finger.
And there will be consequences. I guarantee you that. There will be consequences for everybody involved that tried to violate my rights here.
Actually, it kind of looks like he's trying to zoom in on something. Like he's scrolling around and zooming in. Now he's making a call. He's like, okay, wait, hold on. You're talking about I'm going to be held responsible. You talking about going to court? Hold on. Be right back.
It is illegal to willfully delay or obstruct any public officer in the discharge or attempt of discharge of his duties.
So now Sean's looking up the statute like we did.
6 said the same thing that I said. He's not doing anything wrong. He's going to call.
I don't understand what he just said. He said something like, Sid said the same thing that I said, something. Let me see if I can understand what he said. It's hard to hear it.
6 said the same thing that I said. He's not doing anything wrong. He's going to call.
He's not doing anything wrong. He's going to call, what was that county sheriff's name? Could he have said he's going to call Chris? Well, let me listen to it one more time. It's not like saying 6. 6 said the same thing that I said. He said he's not doing anything wrong. And he's going to call. Let me see one more time.
6 said the same thing that I said. He's not doing anything wrong. He's going to call.
He's going to talk to, and I don't know what he said because that lady's talking, but basically Fur comes back in. He's like, look, the guy I just talked to said the same thing I said. He's trying to get it on camera. I said he's not doing anything wrong. This guy does not want no smoke from Sean Paul Reyes. But he's right. He's also right. Sean's not doing anything wrong. Just as soon as Sean starts making threats, being truly disruptive, disturbing people, doing something illegal, absolutely take his ass down to the county jail. But he's not doing anything wrong right now. And he hasn't done anything wrong. And he's not going to do anything wrong. And so you can't just haul somebody off to the jailhouse, Sheriff.
6 is the supervisor, correct?
Yeah, he's the sergeant.
Sergeant, correct.
The daytime sergeant.
Yeah. I just, you guys have treated me, listen, you guys have treated me with respect. I've treated with you respect in turn. It's not personal towards you guys. I would hate to see you guys make a mistake because your name goes on the lawsuit, sir, and you lose qualified immunity and all that. You seem like a good guy. You seem like a good guy, sir. I don't want to see that happen. I don't want to lose my freedom. I want us to
These guys are like, the sheriff can come handle this himself because I'm not going down for him.
all leave here happy and, we're free America, freedom, right? That's it. No one's breaking the law. I'm not breaking any laws. That's not my goal here.
I'll still be able to get the information.
I will.
He really wants to see this YouTube video.
I promised you I will give you that information. You could check it out for sure. And then once you check it out, I promise you'll be like, oh, it's a really good thing that we did not do that.
I know.
Once you check it out.
He does know. And that's the kind of sense I'm getting is that these two guys are really stuck between a rock and a hard place because I think they know that there's nothing wrong with this. And I kind of almost get the sense that they kind of are in support of the Constitution. I do get the sense that they want to uphold it, but you have this external pressure coming down, breathing down on them from the sheriff who clearly does not understand the Constitution. Thank God that the sergeant or whoever in the middle got involved and said he's not doing anything wrong. We're not about to be on this man's YouTube channel. I don't know. I mean, and a lot of y'all do comment if you're a tyrant, you're a tyrant. If you're doing this stuff, then you're a tyrant. Maybe so. I mean, maybe, but this is my channel. I'm just telling y'all my opinion. I get the sense that there's some conflict going on with these guys. They're kind of conflicted, but honestly, so far, they've been a little bit annoying. They've been a little bit tyrannical. They did threaten to take away Sean's freedoms. They did threaten to take him down to the county jailhouse or whatever. But I don't know. I kind of feel like they really never were going to do that.
You'll be like, oh man, good thing we didn't do that. So I'm just reading for my viewers the obstruction. It is legal to willfully delay or obstruct any public officer in the discharge or attempted discharge of any of her duties. A person does not have to use physical force to be guilty of obstructing the officer, whereas alone may be enough to support construction. But again, your duties is to uphold the United States Constitution. That's your number one.
Me and Sean are on the same wavelength on this video. I'm predicting everything he's going to say.
Duty, not to tell me to stop exercising a constitutionally protected activity, right? While we're waiting, I'm just going to do my public records request.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
So So
Yes, sir.
that's up to 6. You get me?
Okay.
Just do what, open areas, public areas.
For sure.
Like so, the courtrooms. They're no good.
Exactly.
Okay. All right.
Exactly.
I'm sure you do that.
Yeah, no, I don't.
He is nervous.
I don't go inside courtrooms because
Gotcha.
courtrooms are controlled by judges. They have a whole bunch of power, and I'm not dealing with a judge. So, unfortunately, I can't.
I don't know. I just think they're kind of cute. These two officers, I know they're tyrants or whatever, but
I don't have the.
they're not arresting him. It's been a lot worse on this channel before. I guess that's the thing. I mean, the bar is so low that the bar is in hell. But this guy's just kind of like, you're good, man. We're not about to arrest you for not just don't. I'm sure you know.
I don't have the. I can't go up against a judge, as you know. So yeah, that's on my own.
You're good to go.
Yeah, I just gonna, like I said, I'm just gonna do my open records request, and then I'm getting out of here anyway. And before I leave, I'll give you that information.
Another thing I really appreciate about this particular police encounter is that this guy is not afraid to say, look, we were going to arrest you. We were going to whatever. I went and investigated. I went and talked to those higher powers. I went and discussed it with them. Actually, turns out I was wrong. We're not going to arrest you. Just make sure you don't XYZ LMNOP. And of course, they always do go into that, which is annoying. Like, you can't go into restricted areas. You can't go into the courthouse. You can't go in the courtroom. And it's like, okay, guy, like, nobody was trying to go into the courtroom. But like, other than that, I don't know. I have a soft spot for this guy. I don't know.
I promise you.
No, sir.
Yeah, I'm trying to do an open records request for the county.
Okay. Wait. I just have a feeling.
Okay.
Usually there's a form or something. I was told you guys don't have any forms, open records request forms.
For what office?
It would be, and I guess it would be HR because I need the first, last name, and title, and
She seems very nervous. Look at the respiration rate. Look at her chest, how fast she's breathing.
salary of all county employees.
I can give you the first name, the last name, and the salary because that's all our report has.
Okay. Thank you.
That's fine. I don't really need the title. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay, it's 25 cents a page.
Okay, could you just email it to me? That'll be easier.
I can print it for
Okay, look, she has not discussed this camera at all. She hasn't said, "Are you recording?" She seems to be very nervous, but she's putting that aside because she probably knows that Sean has the right to record. So far, this lady is doing good. Janice Geigler could learn a thing or two from this woman. I'm just gonna say.
you. Will wait a minute.
I'd rather just email.
Then I need you to give me a written request.
Okay, I figured it out. I think I know why I have a soft spot, little bias towards these particular people at the courthouse. On top of the fact that they're really not as bad as the usual candidates on this channel, they all remind me kind of like of my family members. Like this lady could just be one of my aunts, like smoking a Marlboro, like silver outside on the porch, like, we had this auditor coming in the other day, y'all. It was the most ridiculous shit I ever saw. I was telling him shit was 25 cents.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay?
Yeah. Do you have a request form?
No, I do
Oh,
not
you
have
do-
a request form. Most of them come in letter form.
Okay, so if you
Yeah.
can give me a blank piece of paper, I'll write it there.
Okay?
Thank you.
Yes, serve. Look at her outfit. Love her.
And I will need payment.
For
Look how she's standing. Sorry, I do. I like her. She's like, I'm gonna need my payment too.
emailing it?
It is 25 cents a page for any document.
That's because you would have to print it but
is.
emailing that's not
Open.
part of the statute.
Yes, it is. On the county clerk records, it is.
You don't have to pay for public records as long as it's not costing you anything. It's emailing. It's not costing you anything, ma'am.
You need to read the statutes concerning county clerk records.
Yeah,
Let's read 'em.
25% for copies, printed copies. Correct,
No,
ma'am.
our records, there is even a statute concerning our digital records.
And those cost 25 cents.
Yes, up to, I believe, I would have to get the number.
Are you governed by state statute or county statute?
State statute.
Yeah, so I've been all over Oklahoma and
let
no
me
one's
get
ever
the
told
state
me that.
statute for that.
Sure, thank
She's going to get it. She's going to settle this debate by getting it.
you. I have it here as well, ma'am.
Don't let me down, Carolyn. What's her name?
Being corrected, that's the land records only section.
Yeah,
She stands corrected. Yes, thank God. She didn't let me down.
I have it here as well, just in case.
And she's smiling. She's sorry.
Well, I don't have a problem saying that.
Of course, neither do I.
If you'll write that,
Sure, I
write down
will.
your request
I will write down the request.
and your email address.
Yeah.
This is how it could always go. Just anybody watching this, take note. This is how it could always go. Even when you are wrong at first, you don't even have to be right. You can be wrong at first. Go check the damn thing yourself. Then say, oh, whoops, I stand corrected. Here you go. What you need.
And you will have it before you get probably out the door.
Thank you. I appreciate it, ma'am. I'm going to fill this out
I like her.
over here. Thank you.
Look at them.
Let's hope doing nothing.
It's a better day than it has been this week.
I want to know what her week's been like, if this is a better day for her.
So that's the request. That's my name, and that's my email address.
Are any of these capitals?
No, just
All
I don't think it really matters.
lowercase.
Yes,
I
yeah.
wanted to make sure I got it right.
yeah.
Okay, I
You
will
can
have
email
it to
there.
you.
Thank you.
Shortly.
Thank you, ma'am.
She's cute. I like her.
Appreciate it. Yes, sir.
I like him now too. I mean, he was a little bit, we got off to a rough start, but I'm gonna give him like a B+.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
He's, what else you need? Thumbs and up. I ain't taking him to no damn jail. 6 said the same thing I said, which is he ain't doing nothing wrong. So I'm not taking him to jail. He's gonna talk to the sheriff himself. I like it. I can't give him an A because he did act a little tyrannical at first, but I'm gonna say B+. That's my grade.
I'm good. You could come on. I can tell you exactly. So, as you probably know, I am a First Amendment auditor, and my channel is actually Long Island Audit.
Long Island.
Long Island.
It's been a while since I've seen one of these types of videos with Sean where it's like they all happily walk to the door together and everyone's fine and gets along. But like that's really the best type of auditing videos whenever everyone's nice. Maybe there's a little bit of conflict. The police officers get educated. People get educated. Everybody comes out without getting arrested. No harm, no foul. People learn things. I like this type of audit.
Audit. You can search it up on. I am from Long Island. That's correct. Yeah. So my channel is
You're like, you city slicker.
Long Island Audit. We have, and this is exactly why I didn't. You treated me with respect, and I like to treat people with respect. And this is exactly why I didn't really want to. I was gonna go to jail today if I had to, because that's my job, right?
My biggest thing was that
That's my job.
Trying not to take you to jail.
Yeah.
You're not doing anything wrong.
Exactly.
He's like, my biggest thing, I was trying not to take you to jail. I'm not doing anything wrong. And he's right. He wasn't doing nothing wrong. Good job, Fur.
So I'm glad that worked out. I'm super happy it worked out that I didn't have to go to jail, but I was ready to go to jail if I needed to because I knew I wasn't doing anything wrong. I know my rights. And, most people when they get arrested, they don't have 375,000 people behind their back, right?
It's more than that now. He's over 400,000.
Right. So
This must have been filmed before the whole Danbury fiasco with the court and the trials and all that.
I do, and I'm fortunate enough, and that's why I fight for people who get unlawfully arrested as well as I fight for myself. So that's basically it. Didn't really want to escalate the situation here. I did the public records request, and now
I'm sorry. I like him. I like them.
I'm on my way. See, there was no.
Pittsburg County, Oklahoma. I would have a beer with them.
She get you hooked up on that though?
Yeah, she took care of me. Yeah, she took care of me. But anyway, I'm gonna be getting out of here. Thank you, sir. It was really nice meeting you.
No problem.
You
You
stay
too,
safe
Sean.
out there. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right, guys. So we're just getting out of the Pittsburg County Courthouse here in Oklahoma. Wow. So started off with the deputy trying to enforce a sign, an unconstitutional sign on the door,
Not a good look.
not associated with any statute or law. Then another deputy came up to me after I spoke with the first one, and I thought we worked everything out, and he understood that he was law enforcement, not policy enforcement. Then another deputy came up to me trying to get my identification. I told him why I was here, my first name. He did not let his ego get hurt when I refused to give him my identification, which is a good thing. A lot of times when you exercise your rights, law enforcement, their ego gets hurt and they become tyrannical. He did not. He was very...
I think everyone at this courthouse that we had a chance to see the interactions with did a great job keeping their egos in check. In particular, the lady at the court, I don't know which one it is, but whoever it was, she did a great job keeping her ego in check. It also looked to me as if maybe she was a little bit nervous. like just the way she was breathing and stuff, but she still kept it in check. And then she kept her ego in check even more so whenever she came back to Sean and said, look, I'm not too big to admit when I was wrong. I know I got into an argument with you over going to read the state statutes and all that. Come find out I was wrong. No problem admitting when I'm wrong. You're going to have your information you've requested before you leave the courthouse today. No harm, no foul. Everybody goes home. Everybody's happy.
Towards me. They both were. Then I come downstairs to do my open records request, and as you all know, you just saw, the two deputies tell me I will be placed under arrest, if I do not immediately cease my recording. So if I do not stop my constitutionally protected activity, I will be arrested for obstruction of justice. And I read the statute for all of you to hear and for the deputies to hear. It did not apply. We were engaged in a constitutionally protected activity. And it sounds to me like the sheriff is the one that told them, arrest him for obstruction if he does not stop recording. So shame on the sheriff if that is the case. I'll be reaching out to the sheriff for comment on that. But that's what I think happened. Thankfully, for this county, the sergeant spoke with both of his deputies and told them that I am not committing any crimes and that I was not obstructing justice, and everything worked out. But as you guys saw, I was ready to take this arrest because it's absurd to be charged with obstruction of justice for engaging in a constitutionally protected activity. I was ready to go. I just wanted them to make sure that they knew what they were doing, because we the people will hold them accountable. Either way, we need to hold that sheriff accountable for him wanting me arrested, for his ordering my arrest. We the people need to hold him accountable. That's
Yeah, whatever that was about. Chris, the one with no sense in the video.
we the people need to hold them accountable. That's what we're trying to do here. Spread education. We're not trying to break law. We're trying to spread education, exercise our rights peacefully, and I think we did that here successfully today. Let me know what you think about this one in the comment section below. As always, stay safe. God bless. I'll see you in the next video. Long Island Audit. Peace.
That's pretty much all I had for today. Just wanted to react to that video, get a little bit of a palate cleanse from the whole Danbury fiasco. It's absolutely a breath of fresh air to see an audit go in the way that this one went. I can't fully say it was a perfect performance on behalf of the Pittsburg County Sheriff's Department, specifically on the behalf of the sheriff, on the part of the sheriff. But honestly, I'm just glad nobody got arrested. I'm glad that the two police officers remained respectful. They didn't go all Tibbets on Sean. I'm glad the clerk remained respectful. I'm glad that everybody got to leave and go home knowing that nobody's rights were like completely obliterated and smattered and smashed into the ground. So yeah, I mean, it was a good audit as far as I can tell. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that we've all seen much worse. A lot of the time, I almost expect our public servants to be horrible and rude to us based on just the law of averages. So thankfully that didn't happen today. I will be back on the Danbury case with more videos coming very, very soon in the very near future. And my audit video with Sean should be coming out by the end of this month. This is February. So within the next week or two, we should have the BJ Investigates Long Island Audit collaboration up and published. And so, yeah, that's all I really had for today. In the meantime, facts ain't defamation. Love you, mean it. Okay, bye.